It is my great privilege to announce one of the winners of this year's Light of Hope May Cook Award, Mary Coan. Mary has been a CASA volunteer for over 7 years and has brought professionalism, perseverance, and dedication to the role. During her tenure, Mary has advocated for 11 children. She's willing to take on all ages of children and sibling groups. Mary retired in 2013 from a successful career in finance to dedicate more time to her family and personal passions. We're blessed that CASA is among one of those passions. Mary and her husband Ken recently celebrated their 31st wedding anniversary, and they have 4 daughters who are the light of their lives. Ken shared with me that Mary is the classic mama bear and very in tune and protective of their daughters. There's a running joke in their family, Ken said, that any suitors need to be more scared of Mary than her husband Ken. That strong family bond extends to her siblings as well. Mary has 2 sisters and a brother with whom she speaks to at least weekly. Another passion of Mary's is her 7-year-old rescue pup named Lacey. Her family adopted her as a puppy, and Mary loves to walk her on the nature trail near their home in Reston and take her for long walks on the beach in Rehoboth, Delaware. In her free time, Mary also enjoys exercising, yoga, and riding bikes at the beach. Ken mentioned that one of the things he loves about Mary is that she has a unique ability to read people very well and is in tune with who they are. He said Mary is a great listener and knows how to elicit responses from people. She's very caring, and that shines through in her. I couldn't agree more. I've had the pleasure of working as Mary's supervisor for 3.5 years now. I've also found her to have a wonderful way of communicating with professionals and the children and families in her cases. Mary leaves no stone unturned when working her cases. A case that immediately comes to my mind to illustrate this was a complicated one involving domestic violence, substance abuse, and mental health issues. The father in the case was a veteran and had suffered from a traumatic brain injury and PTSD. He really struggled with alcoholism and managing his anger. When he was held at the adult detention center, Mary would go and visit him and hunted down medical records from several different states where he'd sought treatment, trying to put a holistic picture together of what some of the barriers were to reunification. All the while, Mary continued to visit with the child who lived at home with his mother to make sure he was safe and that his needs were met. Eventually, the department wanted to close the book on this father and not let him back into the home. But by this time, he was involved in the Veterans Docket program, and Mary was attending all of those hearings as well and following up with his caseworker. At a hearing, the judge decided the department would no longer have a caseworker assigned to the family, but the CASA and the GAL would stay on. The father was still ordered out of the home with what appeared to be no real way to change that. For months, Mary was the only person checking in with this family. She continued to visit with the child, who was doing well with his mother, and she also continued to attend the Veterans Docket hearings and stayed in touch with his caseworker. When it came time to go back to the juvenile court, the judge praised Mary for providing such important information to help him make his decision. By that time, the father had demonstrated continued sobriety and was engaged in mental health services. He was allowed to slowly re-enter the home, and eventually the case was closed with the family reunited. Thank you, Mary, for making a difference in the lives of the children you serve through Fairfax CASA. It is an honor to present the May Cook Heart of Gold Award to you today.